cool little install video, and I'm excited for this install because I've been waiting on this one for a while. Let me just jump right into it and show you. H&R Lowering Springs. This stock wheel gap in the BMW has been just killing me. It's awful. It's like monster trucking. So we got this H&R Lowering Spring set. The best part about this is they're affordable way to lower the car, and with the M4, well, any of the M cars of this F chassis, whether it's the F80, F82, or F83, all have the magnetic dampening, and unfortunately with coilovers you completely lose that control of the electronic dampening system. So I wanted to maintain that, and I saw a ton of people with some of the more modern cars with the electronic dampening systems just doing lowering springs. I thought, okay, how is this, like, it seems too good to be true. We'll find out if the lowering springs is actually a really good solution or not. I mean, it just seems too good to be true because it's affordable and it lowers the car and improves the handling, and you get your stock electronic dampening control, maintained, and it just seems like too many wins there for there not to be some sort of a downside to these, because they're going to be stiffer because they're not as tall as the stock ones. So I think I'm going to sacrifice ride quality, which unfortunately in the M car, it's a stiff ride already, even in comfort mode. So we'll see. I'm willing to sacrifice that ride quality for the looks, because man, that wheel gap stock is just awful. So to help us with this, I had to order this 18mm strut socket. It's got the, as you can see, hollow opening in the side here, so you're able to get a grip on the outer strut nut, and then you can get in here with a crescent wrench and hold the inner one in its position to maintain that setting while loosening and relieving pulling the top hat off of the McPherson strut there, replacing it with one of these front springs. Additionally, I went over to O'Reilly's and I went to the O'Reilly's just because it's like brand new. It just opened a couple months ago, and I figured all their rental tools are going to be really nice and unused. And of course, this one was completely unused, brand new, and it's free. You pay a down payment of like $55, and you get it for 48 hours. And you have 48 hours to bring it back. If you don't bring it back, it's yours to keep, which I don't want to keep this because I probably won't use that ever or very often. So yeah, awesome. Rental tool, spring compressor, 18mm strut socket, and we're gonna just use some standard, taking off the wheel bolt sockets, which I think it's 18 or 17mm. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we'll need some other tools. I'll kind of run through those a little bit. I'm not the first guy doing the install of these lowering springs in general on the F82 chassis, so I don't think that this is gonna be something that anybody hasn't seen before. I just figured I'd document everything that I do, because for my own personal, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when I'm older, I want to be able to look back at, hey, I owned an M car one day and look at all this shit that I did to it. I just think that would be cool. So again, not reinventing the wheel here. Tons of people out there that have done this, and I'm probably replicating, just adding another video out there. Maybe I do something different. Maybe I learned something out of this that somebody hasn't covered, and that'd be great, so I can push those lessons learned onto you guys. But yeah, overall, not really sure what I'm doing, so you guys are gonna see me do this myself and learn from it with me, because I'm gonna be doing this for the first time and I don't know really what I'm doing. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed this works. Let's get started. Let's go to the garage. Turn on garage lights. Boom. I love that. So cool. These lights are amazing in here. So I'm gonna try this out in here. Current wheel gap scenario we got going on here is absolutely insane. Like, look at that. That's crazy. So I'm excited. I took some before pictures downtown where this is awesome floral mural thing going on, where there's some awesome paintings on the side of this building. So I'm gonna go back there afterwards. But Jesus Christ, look at all that wheel gap. It's gonna look nice. I've got the wheel spacers on here right now. So the awesome part is we brought the wheel out, so we get this nice flush alignment with our fender. So it's gonna be awesome. And now all we need to do is just draw this gap down. We're gonna come down about 1 inch here, which should be, I measured this out, 1 inch is gonna be like absolutely like perfect. We'll have still some clearance, but it'll be starting to look tucked in there. And then 1.3 inches on the front is getting to the point where it's pretty drastic. So, but that's also been measured. There's way more wheel gap in the front than the rear, so this will come down 1.3 and we'll still have probably a finger to be able to put in there once it's lowered. So I'm gonna try to do this in this tiny little 1-car garage because the storm might bring some crazy amounts of rain. So gonna try to do this with one jack and some jacks, stands, and sweat like hell in this Florida heat in this garage. So yeah, I'm gonna bring the springs in here. We'll get the car up. I'm gonna do the front first. So front coils here. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the fronts tonight. Just because of time's sake. I looked up online and saw just some like generic ways of taking the springs out of a car without using a tool, and tons of dudes are just using jacks to compress it. So I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna look to see if I can use the tool, just because I would like to try to use it and see how it works, but I'm also a little bit afraid to use it because I don't want to shoot myself in the face with a freaking spring, because that would suck, especially if I'm here by myself and I get hurt. Nobody will be here to help me. And so yeah, I'm gonna go right ahead and jack up the car here and try to find a good spot to put these jack stands. So this ought to be interesting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wedge this thing up in there. I'm going to take it completely out. Wedge it up in. Oh god, that's sketch. That's not even going to work. Shit. That ain't even going to work. Alright. We're doing the jack trick. So scared to do this, but we're going to try it. See what happens. I'm gonna take this guy off here. It's a little. There we go. There's a little tab in there. And then that completely pulls off to the side. Then back in here we've got another situation going on. think that about does it for that. I guess we can get by a little bit more slack. I don't want to take that off. That's kind of like a strain relief. I'm going to keep this as is, but we're going to come up under here with the jack and lift this thing up from straight underneath the strut. Thinking right under there with a board. There we go. So up here we're gonna loosen this while holding the inner nut so it doesn't move. The inner nut is, I'm not quite sure what size, but I think I can go with a 10 and see if that fits, because a 10 was the same size as the inside. Boom! 10 works perfect. So that can sit on there like that. All right. Holy shit, I think we did it. So, now we got this off. We can go down below and hopefully we can lightly let this spring out. Holy shit, there it goes. Perfect. Alright everybody, I fucked up. I forgot to undo this end link here. I didn't film this whole process, I got it all apart. I forgot to undo this end link, and so when I had the spring compressed, or from underneath with the jack, oh shit, I wasn't even being that way. Here, so if I wasn't pointing at that the first time I wasn't seeing. So I had this whole thing compressed, undid the top bolt, and when I lowered it down, this was still attached, and I was like, fuck, that's not gonna pivot the right way I need it to. So I go to undo this and I start hammering it out, and I was like, wait a minute, I think there's tension on this whole end link, and I started freaking out thinking I was gonna hurt. I gotta tighten that up, but I was thinking I was gonna hurt myself. I thought I was gonna have a fucking like foot smashed by the rotor here, and I got damn sandals on like an idiot. I'm not doing it justice, but I'm a total noob when it comes to this, but I'll be the first to admit it. So yeah, I just didn't take this off. That was dumb of me. Thankfully I didn't get hurt. Everything looks good still, and yeah, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Compress this strut, pull all this shit out. Same thing. I'm gonna retorque this down on this side. Put all these gaskets back in, but man, same thing on this side that I did here. Just take all this junk off the top here, undo that top piece, and we're going to do that over here on this side. And so this thing just, now that I know how to pull it off, it's much easier. Oh, probably better with this hand. That pulls off. This thing, you gotta do this one here and that one. I'm not going to show this, but you got the gist of it. Over here, once I have the end link taken off, over here, and this was unthreaded. Then was able to lightly let the jack down, taking the tension off the spring, and just pivoted the whole strut tower out off to the side here. Put the spring on. There's some little notches here where you have to make sure that you're lined up with your, there's like notches back in here. I'll show you on the other side if I can. I'm running out of battery right now. I might have to do just the front sides tonight and then do the back in the morning, the rear in the morning. So yeah, this turned out a little bit more stressful than I anticipated, but whatever, shit happens. This is the reason why you work on your car, because you learn how your shit works, you learn how it's put together. Unfortunately, on an M car, your fuck ups cost you a lot more money. Luckily we didn't fuck anything up, and I'm thankful for that. So whew, back on track now, and yeah, I will update you guys once I get this side done, show you a little bit more detail. I did an awful job at documenting this. It's just so hot and miserable in here. Hey guys, so the next morning I finished up the lowering spring install today. My buddy Kyle's gonna come over. The fronts look awesome. The fronts are, let's go around this side and see. And then we're gonna get up under here. I got some wood blocks under there. Right now we're gonna hit that center jack point right there by the diff, and we're gonna raise this thing up and start on the rears. I've already kind of given up on the quality of this video as far as like it being helpful to some people. Kind of sucks. I didn't mean for it to be that way, but what I'm gonna do is just kind of show the progress here, and then maybe I'll come in at the end and kind of narrate over lessons learned and what we did. So yeah, start off from here, and we'll get this back end of the car lifted up.